Turning 70 can be a beautiful new chapter, or a confusing one. Some people thrive, feeling more joyful, peaceful, and alive than ever. Others wake up each day feeling lost, unsure, or even invisible. What makes the difference? It's not luck. It's whether you have a few essential things in place to support your body, your mind, and your spirit. In this video, we'll explore 6 simple but powerful essentials you need after 70. These aren't expensive or complicated, they're deeply human. Without them, life can feel lonely or stagnant. With them, each day brings more meaning, connection, and quiet joy. And the final one? It's something many people forget, until it's almost gone. So stay with me to the end. You'll come away not only with clarity, but with renewed hope for the years ahead. Because life after 60 isn't about fading, it's about becoming more fully yourself than ever before. Let's begin this gentle journey together. Number 1. Emotional healing and inner peace. There's something few people talk about openly, but it weighs heavily on many hearts as they get older. Unhealed emotional wounds. By the time we reach 70, we've all lived through joys and sorrows, successes and regrets. We've loved deeply, lost painfully, made choices we're proud of, and others we wish we could change. And sometimes, without meaning to, we carry unresolved grief, guilt, or old emotional scars that quietly shape the way we see ourselves in the world. If we don't take time to heal and release what's weighing us down, these emotions can linger beneath the surface, affecting our health, our relationships, and our ability to fully enjoy the life we still have. That's why emotional healing and inner peace are essential in this chapter of life. Without them, we can find ourselves growing bitter instead of wise, closed instead of open. We may begin to fear stillness because it forces us to face things we've buried. But when we do face them, with compassion, not judgment, something beautiful happens. We begin to feel free. Take someone like Ellen. At 70, Ellen was known for her kindness. But those closest to her knew she often avoided talking about her past, especially the loss of her son many years ago. She told herself she was fine, that life had moved on. But inside, she still carried pain she had never spoken aloud. Then, through gentle encouragement from a friend, she began journaling. She joined a small grief support group at her church. Slowly, as she opened up, she cried, deeply, honestly, for the first time in years. And after those tears came something unexpected: peace. She didn't forget her loss, but she finally stopped carrying the weight of it alone. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means releasing. It means forgiving yourself for past mistakes. It means making peace with people who hurt you, even if they're no longer here. It means letting go of the inner critic that whispers, "You should have known better." Emotional healing also invites gratitude. Gratitude for how far you've come. For the strength it took to survive. For the lessons you've gathered. And for the chance to begin anew, right now, no matter your age. Here's the truth: your heart deserves rest. Your spirit deserves peace. And you deserve to live these years with lightness, not burden. So ask yourself, is there something I need to forgive? Someone I need to let go of with love? An old pain I'm ready to stop carrying? You don't need to do it all at once. But even the smallest act of healing, a conversation, a prayer, a letter never sent, can open a door inside you. And through that door, peace waits patiently. This isn't about erasing the past. It's about honoring it, and then stepping forward with a heart that feels lighter. Because in the end, it's not just about living longer. It's about living freer. Number 2. A sense of personal growth and curiosity. One of the quietest, most common mistakes people make after 70 is believing that their best years are behind them. They settle into familiar routines, into safe patterns, into the idea that life no longer holds much new to offer. And at first, that comfort feels welcome. After all, you've earned a bit of ease, a bit of rest. But over time, something subtle begins to shift. Without realizing it, many begin to feel stuck. The days blur. Curiosity fades. Life becomes more about maintenance than discovery. And when that happens, it doesn't just dim your mood, it affects your mind, your vitality, and even your health. Here's a powerful truth to hold close. The moment you stop learning, you begin to decline. Not just mentally, but emotionally and spiritually too. Science has shown what many of us intuitively know: staying mentally engaged, Whether by learning new skills, reading, exploring new ideas, or even just staying curious, can significantly reduce your risk of cognitive decline and diseases like dementia. But beyond that, personal growth makes life feel meaningful again. It sparks joy. It brings light to the eyes and purpose to the heart. Let me tell you about Robert. At 72, Robert had retired from a long career as an engineer. For decades, he thrived on problem-solving and complex projects. But after stepping away from work, he quickly found himself adrift. The break was nice at first, but slowly his days lost shape. He felt restless, unmotivated. Then one afternoon, on a whim, he signed up for a basic woodworking class at the local community center. That one small decision changed everything. What began as a casual hobby grew into a passion. He started building little tables and toy boxes for his grandchildren, then shelves for neighbors. Before long, he was selling handmade pieces at the weekend market, not because he needed the money but because he felt alive again. He had something to work toward, something new to master, and it brought a spark back into his spirit. That's the power of personal growth. It doesn't need to be grand or expensive. It just needs to feel new, engaging, and joyful. You don't have to go back to school or tackle major projects. Growth can come from reading a new genre of book, from learning a few words in another language, from trying your hand at painting, taking up the ukulele, or experimenting with a new recipe. It can come from doing puzzles that challenge your thinking, listening to thought-provoking podcasts, or simply asking deeper questions about the world and yourself. Because here's something most people don't realize. Curiosity keeps you young. Not just in mind but in heart. It keeps you adaptable, engaged, more hopeful, more social. It gives you something to look forward to, something to talk about, dream about, and wake up for. So ask yourself, when was the last time you learned something new just for the joy of it? When was the last time you tried something that made you say, "I've never done this before"? If it's been a while, maybe now is the perfect time. Because no matter your age, as long as you're still curious, as long as you're still growing, life will continue to open its arms to you. And that, dear friend, is the true secret to staying vibrant after 60. If this message resonates with you, feel free to comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on notifications. We're building a space of warmth, reflection, and community. Let's keep moving forward, together. Number 3. A strong sense of purpose. After the age of 70, life often begins to move to a quieter rhythm. The days of packed schedules, raising families, climbing career ladders, and juggling endless responsibilities slowly begin to ease. For many, this shift brings welcome rest, but for others, it leaves an unsettling emptiness. The structure that once gave life its momentum quietly dissolves, and with it, a sense of direction. That's why having a strong sense of purpose is not just helpful, it's essential. Without purpose, days can feel long and strangely hollow. Motivation fades. Even physical health can start to decline. But when you wake each morning with something meaningful to look forward to, everything changes. Your energy returns. Your spirit feels lighter. Your life takes on new color. Ask yourself gently, when you open your eyes in the morning, what thought rises first? Is it anticipation or aimlessness? Do you feel drawn toward something that matters to you? Studies consistently show that people who live with a clear sense of purpose enjoy longer lives. They experience fewer chronic illnesses, and they're far less likely to struggle with depression or despair. Purpose isn't about staying busy, it's about staying connected. To yourself, to others, to the world around you. It's about knowing your life still makes a difference. Let me share a story. After retiring at 65, John, once a high-powered financial consultant, was looking forward to freedom. He slept in, read the newspaper at leisure, and had long, unhurried breakfasts. But within a few months something shifted. The days grew dull. His mind, once razor-sharp, felt slow. Then one afternoon, a former colleague invited him to speak with a group of young professionals. He agreed, and something sparked. Soon, John began mentoring regularly. The fog lifted. His energy returned. His days had shape again. But more than that, he felt needed, and that feeling brought him back to life. Your purpose doesn't need to come from work or productivity. It might be found in tending a garden, writing a memoir, teaching your grandchildren how to bake, volunteering at a local shelter, or learning something completely new. The form doesn't matter as much as the feeling. Does it make you feel alive? When we lose our sense of purpose, life can feel like a slow drift. But with it, each day becomes an invitation, a chance to grow, to give, to discover joy in places we may have once overlooked. And the beautiful truth is this: it's never too late to find a new reason to wake up in the morning. No matter where you are or what you've been through, purpose is always within reach. Number 4. Meaningful social connections. One of the quietest dangers many people face after 60 is not something that announces itself loudly. It creeps in gently, subtly: isolation. Sometimes it starts with retirement, when the daily conversations and coffee breaks disappear. Other times it's when friends relocate, or family members become absorbed in their own busy lives. And suddenly, without meaning to, you find yourself spending far more time alone than you ever imagined. A little solitude can be beautiful, even healing. But too much of it? It can become harmful, both to the heart and to the body. You see, we humans are wired for connection. Companionship doesn't just lift the spirit, it quite literally supports your health. Chronic loneliness has been shown to increase the risk of high blood pressure, weakened immunity, depression, and even dementia. In fact, some studies say loneliness can be as damaging as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's not just poetic, it's science. What's even more heartbreaking is that many older adults don't notice it happening. They convince themselves they're fine. They say they enjoy their independence. But slowly over time the laughter fades. Conversations dwindle. The world around them grows smaller, quieter, dimmer. Let me introduce you to Margaret. Margaret is 72. She lost her husband a couple of years ago and found herself with more silence than she knew what to do with. At first, the stillness felt like a reprieve, a time to rest, reflect, move at her own pace. But after a few months, she began to feel a restlessness in her soul. Her motivation waned. The books on the shelf stayed unread. Even gardening, once her joy, lost its appeal. Then, on a whim, she joined a small walking group at the local park. Nothing fancy. Just a few people strolling and chatting. But something shifted. Slowly, new friendships took root. Conversations flowed. She found herself laughing again, genuinely, freely. And with that laughter came light. That's the magic of meaningful connection. It doesn't require a full calendar of events or dozens of acquaintances. It only asks for a few people you can share life with. People who notice when you're quiet, who call just to hear your voice, who listen without rushing you. Quality over quantity. That's the key. If you found yourself withdrawing, perhaps without even realizing it, please know this: it's never too late to reach out. Join a group. Sign up for a class. Volunteer at your library. Or simply call an old friend and say, "I was thinking of you." Yes, it may feel awkward at first. Yes, it might take courage. But sometimes, all it takes is one invitation to open the door to something beautiful. Life was never meant to be lived alone. And after 60, companionship isn't just nice, it's essential. It keeps us open, curious, human. If this message resonates with you, feel free to comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on notifications. We're building a space of warmth, reflection, and community. Let's keep moving forward, together. Number 5. Physical strength and mobility. After 70, how well you care for your body has a direct impact on one of the most precious gifts in this stage of life: your freedom. Many people believe that feeling slower, stiffer, or more tired is just a natural part of aging. And yes, some changes do come with time, but far more often than we realize, it's not age alone that takes our strength from us. It's the quiet absence of daily movement. It's what we stop doing, not just what time does to us. Physical decline doesn't arrive like a storm, it comes quietly in whispers. It starts with small signs. You find yourself needing to sit down more often. A walk that once felt easy leaves you winded. Stairs begin to feel steeper. You ache after carrying groceries or working in the garden. At first, these are just inconveniences. But over time, if ignored, they become true barriers. Tasks that were once second nature, getting up from a chair, walking around the block, reaching for a high shelf, begin to feel like daunting challenges. And once mobility is lost, reclaiming it becomes a far steeper climb. Let me share the story of Paul. At 75, Paul had always considered himself active. But after retirement he stopped moving as much. The daily walks ceased. The light stretching faded. At first he didn't notice much. But gradually his legs stiffened in the mornings. His knees complained on longer strolls. He began pushing off armrests to rise from a chair. Then one day Paul tripped on his front steps. Not because they were too high, but because his legs no longer had the strength to respond. That fall was a wake-up call. It wasn't just aging, he was losing his independence. But here's the hopeful truth. Strength and mobility can be improved at any age. Even gentle, consistent movement can bring remarkable change. A brisk 20-minute walk. A few squats or calf raises while brushing your teeth. Light resistance training with small hand weights or resistance bands. Simple balance drills. It's not about becoming an athlete. It's about becoming strong enough to live the life you want, on your terms. And don't underestimate the ripple effects. Maintaining muscle mass doesn't just help you move, it fuels your energy, supports your metabolism, and strengthens your immune system. The stronger your muscles, the more efficiently your body burns energy. The better your balance, the lower your risk of falls. The more you move, the better your brain functions. It's all connected. So how do you begin? Start small. Start today. A walk around your block. Chair exercises during your favorite show. Gentle yoga or stretching in the morning light. Every small effort adds up, and each one is a gift to your future self. The goal isn't perfection. It's preservation. Of your strength, your confidence, your freedom. And the sooner you begin, the more days you'll greet with the joy of knowing, yes, I can. Number 6. Financial stability and peace of mind. When most people think about stress in their later years, they assume it's all about health. But there's another burden that quietly weighs on many people after 70. Money. Even if you've worked hard your entire life, even if you've saved, planned, and done your best, financial worry has a way of creeping in. Because the truth is, expenses don't retire, and in many cases they actually rise. From medical bills and home repairs to unforeseen emergencies, the financial demands of later life can pile up quickly. And when you no longer have a regular paycheck to lean on, that pressure can feel especially heavy. If left unaddressed, financial stress doesn't just sit quietly in the background, it chips away at your health, your relationships, and your overall sense of safety. But here's something important to remember. Financial stability isn't about having a large fortune. It's about having clarity and control. It's about knowing where you stand, what you need, and how to handle life's surprises without panic. It's about the quiet confidence that comes from knowing, I'm going to be okay. Let me tell you about Helen. At 71, Helen was living comfortably. She had enough saved to cover her day-to-day needs. Life was simple and she felt secure. But then, two things happened in close succession. A leaking roof that demanded urgent repairs and a large, unexpected medical bill. Just like that, she found herself dipping into her savings at an alarming rate. The numbers in her account dropped, and so did her peace of mind. Every grocery trip became stressful. Every utility bill made her anxious. The worry wasn't just about dollars, it seeped into every corner of her well-being. But here's the good news. Financial peace is something you can still build, even later in life. It begins with awareness. If it's been a while since you sat down with your finances, now is the time. Take a good, honest look. Your savings, your monthly expenses, your insurance, any debts, and any upcoming needs. Knowledge brings clarity, and clarity brings calm. Next, look for ways to simplify. Many people unknowingly overpay for services they no longer use. Old subscriptions, outdated insurance plans, or utilities that could be renegotiated. Even small cutbacks can make a meaningful difference over time. If you're worried about outliving your savings, consider light part-time work or income from hobbies. Many retirees find not only financial relief but also a renewed sense of purpose from consulting, tutoring, crafting, or turning a passion into a side income. And don't overlook healthcare planning. Medical costs are often the largest financial burden in later life. Having a plan, whether through insurance, long-term care coverage, or a saving strategy, can prevent future crises and give you a solid foundation. Remember, peace of mind doesn't come from the size of your bank account. It comes from knowing you're prepared, from knowing you won't be caught off guard, from feeling confident that you won't have to depend on your children or sacrifice your lifestyle to get by. When you have financial clarity, everything else feels a little lighter. Your days feel freer. You sleep more peacefully. And you walk through life with your shoulders just a bit higher. Final thoughts. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you, from the bottom of my heart, for sharing this time with me. Turning 60 is not an ending. It's a beginning of a different kind, quieter perhaps, but no less rich, no less meaningful. And as we've explored today, living well in this chapter of life isn't about chasing youth. It's about embracing who you are now, with wisdom, grace, and a gentle fire that still burns inside. You don't need to have it all figured out. But you do deserve to feel purposeful, connected, strong, secure, curious, and above all, at peace. The truth is, every day from here forward is a gift. And with the right support in place, it can also be the most deeply fulfilling time of your life. So take what resonated with you today. Maybe it's just one idea, one step. That's enough to begin. You're not too old. It's not too late. And you're never alone on this journey. If you found this video helpful or comforting, please let me know by clicking the like button. It tells the algorithm, yes, this kind of content matters. Leave a comment below and share. Which of these 6 spoke to you most deeply? Or maybe you have your own number 7 to add. I'd love to hear it. And if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode in this series. This channel is here to walk with you, to uplift, inform, and remind you that your story still matters. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.